keynote speaker, who is Dr. Tiffany Harris, a devoted wife and mother who wears many hats. She's not just an in-demand, international, award-winning inspirational speaker. She's also a coach, a mindset coach, a mentor, and a three-time author. She has a growing consulting company called Shift Your Mindset and Dream Big, LLC. That sounds good, doesn't it? With 2 prestigious Changemaker of the Year awards under her belt, she's also a Business Grammy nominee, a Faith Made Millionaire nominee, and an alum of the Ignite Speakers program developed by the one and only Lisa Nichols. Beyond those titles, Dr. Harris is the visionary behind Win Women Empower, a global women's membership community. Her mission is to empower individuals worldwide to transform their mindset, allowing them to reach new heights in all aspects of their lives, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. At the core of Dr. Harris's philosophy lies the belief that shifting your mindset can also alter the course of your life. Get ready to soar, scale, and succeed with Dr. Harris leading the way.
Good, everything went well. She spoke well, with intelligence, courage, and she really gave a positive message to all the 8th graders that's about to go to high school now. So they should take that into keep a mental note of that. When they return to school, they'll be fine.
It was a really good and powerful message. Everybody really thought that it was good. I was looking around the room to see how everybody's reaction was, and they had very a strong emotional agreement into the speech. And even my ELA teacher, she was taken aback and she loved it, and I know Miss Newkirk loved it. She doing amazing actually, and the speech was top 10 out of 10.
Dr. Harris's speech was so wonderful. It was so inspirational. I think the children are going to really listen to what she had to say and keep it in their minds while they're going through high school. I know my granddaughter will keep it in mind, and I really was inspired listening to her.
Nice person. She really inspired me, and when she gave us these wristbands, these was thorough, and her favorite, not her favorite color, but she wear a lot of red. Yeah, I like red.
I feel like she was very genuine and very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very inspiring. And when she talked about her past, it inspired me to do better. And that's what I just loved about the whole speech and what she brought to the table.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 3 of the Voice and Visibility Experience. Welcome. Listen, I see y'all coming in. Go ahead and continue to share. Go ahead and text, call, let people know that the Voice and Visibility Experience day 3, this is the final day. Let them know that we are on. You do not want them to miss it. Listen, if they already missed out on day 1 or day 2, that is fine. All right. They can still catch the final session. So make sure you reach out to them, right? You do your part and let them know that they need to jump on one of these platforms. All right. And when I say one of these platforms, I'm saying that because we are on 5 different platforms right now. And so I want to look to my screen here on my left, and I want to say welcome, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, because we are worldwide. So hello to you. Thank you for joining in. I'm so glad that you're here. Right here on my screen in the middle, this is FB and IG as well as LinkedIn. So welcome to all of you. I'm so glad that you're here. And on my screen over here to my right, I see YT. And I'm hesitating because I wanted to say Y2, but let me just stick to what I've been saying, YT. And if y'all don't know what the letters mean, somebody put it in the comments and let them know what these letters stand for, okay? So YT is over here. Welcome. I'm so glad that you are here. All right, good. All right, so somebody said that they cannot see me. So is that the case for any of the other platforms? Because what you all should be seeing is my PowerPoint. So YT, let me know if you see my PowerPoint. And then at the bottom of my screen of my PowerPoint, you should see me in a box. So let me know, YT, if you can see that, all right? And then I'm going to switch over to FB and see if that is what they can see. So give me 1 second. And listen, y'all keep praying for me because I'm trying different things. My tech team didn't do it. I'm doing it. I said, well, let me see. because I'm one of those people. I like to dibble and dabble and try to figure things out. And so here I go today, right? I'll be right back, TT. Don't hang up. I'm clicking over. Here I go, dibbling and dabbling in things, and I may be messing some things up. So let's see. So let's see what's happening here. Let me see what they see. All right. So let's go back. Let's go back here. Let me see. Let's see, right? And so sometimes maybe I should just leave things alone. Okay, so what you should see is the full screen of my PowerPoint, right? Because that's what I see here on FB and IG. You see yes, that is exactly what you should be seeing. That was intentional, Andra. Perfect. And then in the bottom of the screen, you should see me. But what you should be focused on is my PowerPoint. Wonderful. All right. So yes, you are seeing what you are supposed to see. Okay, wonderful. Yes, it's different, Andra. Yeah, she said, oh, this, yes. I told y'all day 3, I wanted to give y'all something different, and you were seeing something different. So exactly, okay? So I know it threw y'all off a little bit, like, wait a minute, where's Dr. T? Like, hey, I'm still here. Just look down in the box. Here I am. I'm waving to you, Andra. I'm waving to you, Nadine. I see you, Wanda. I see you, Adrian. I see y'all. I see you, Takita. I see you. I see y'all, right? All right. But I wanted to have a PowerPoint for you today. So, TT, you are not able to see my PowerPoint, right? You just see me, okay? And if you're okay with just seeing me, stay where you are. If you want to see the PowerPoint, like FB, IG, LinkedIn, and like YT can see, come over to my YT channel, all right? Which is Mindset Shift with Tiff. And you can see the PowerPoint there, okay? All right. So now that we have that order of business out of the way, I'm so glad that you're here. Continue to text people, continue to call them, continue to share this out, and continue to tag them. All right. Next thing I want you to do is go ahead and drop in the chat and tell us where you are from. All right. So I know we have people from all over. I am in Pennsylvania. I'm sending you love, positive vibes, and lots of energy from Pennsylvania. It's very warm here today. No, warm is the wrong word. It's hot here today. So let me know, where are you tuning in from? What is the weather? How are you feeling? All right. All right. Let me know. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and jump right in, because we have a lot to cover. And this is the last day. And what we're going to be talking about is, and you see it here on my PowerPoint, from breakthrough to becoming, right? From breakthrough to becoming. All right. Give me 1 second. I'm getting a message here from, hi, Wanda. Hi, Wanda says she's from Philadelphia. Andrea from Troy, New York. Nadine from Norristown, Pennsylvania. Andrea said, I like it, LOL. All right. I'm glad you like it. So I need you to put, I can see it, YT. This is for you, because I'm getting some comments saying that you're not able to see my PowerPoint. So YT, put I can see it in the chat if you can see my PowerPoint and you see me here at the bottom of the screen waving to you. This is for YT. Let me know. And then FB, I'm going to come over and I'm going to check on you as well, because from my view, FB, I can see my PowerPoint. I can see me at the bottom of the screen waving to you. All right. So if you can see my PowerPoint and if you can see me at the bottom of the screen, go ahead and put I can see it. All right. So Gabrielle said, greetings. I am mentally and emotionally. That's all right. Listen, your presence is enough. All right. And we're sending prayers and love and positive energy and positive vibes your way, Gabrielle. And we are so grateful that you showed up as well. Okay, perfect. Andrea said, I can see it. Thank you so much for confirming. All right. And so could everybody just send some love, send some heart emojis, just put them up in the chat. We want to love on Gabrielle. She let us know she's exhausted today. But let me tell you what I love about this, Gabrielle. Gabrielle said, I'm exhausted today, so I won't be interactive. And let me tell you what I love, right? Because I tell people that rest is part of the process. And so what Gabrielle is doing is she's listening to her body. She's listening to what she's feeling, right? She's paying attention to what she's experiencing, and she's resting. So she's here physically, right? She's listening, But normally she's in here and she's engaging and she's typing and she's doing the homework, but she's letting us know, she's putting us on notice. I'm not 100% today. And let me celebrate you for that, because a lot of people will continue to push and press, right? And try to persevere despite taking a moment to just kind of fall back, right? And so I'm so glad that you're doing that. So I celebrate you for that. All right. So today we're going to be talking about from breakthrough to becoming. And what I want you all to remember is that breakthrough is a moment, but becoming is a lifestyle, right? Breakthrough is a moment, but becoming is a lifestyle. Right. And so good afternoon. Some of you are just now coming in. Welcome to day 3 of the Voice and Visibility Experience. And I have to tell y'all something. You know, I have genuinely been looking forward to today. I have. And it's not because this is our final session, right? That's not why. It's because today is where we bring everything together, right? This is that moment when it's going to happen. And over the last 2 days, we've challenged beliefs. We have strengthened our confidence, right? We've explored visibility, and we've even practiced communicating our value. But today, we're going to answer one final question today. And that question is, how do you make sure this transformation doesn't end when this experience is over? Right? So that's what we're going to talk about today, because there's more beyond just 3 days for 1 hour a day. Okay. All right. So I want to begin by saying something that I don't want you to overlook. All right. You came back. And for some of you, you showed up for the first time. Right. And again, that may not seem like a big deal to some of you, but it is, Desi B. It is, Andra. It is, Nadine. That is a big deal, right? And let me tell you why. It's a big deal because every time you choose to invest in your growth, what you're doing is you're casting a vote for the person you're becoming, Gabrielle. And so growth isn't one decision. Growth is a series of decisions. Put that in the chat. Growth isn't one decision. Growth is a series of decisions. Put that in the chat. And you've made the decision, some of you, 3 days in a row. Some of you, 2 days in a row. Some of you decided to get up here even though you knew that today was the final day. That screams volumes. And what I want you to do is celebrate yourself for that. Go ahead and put all the hearts, put the hand claps, put the celebration emojis, flood the chat with that. Welcome, Crystal. Celebrate yourself for that. All right. Welcome. All right. So I want to do a homework check-in, because if you've been here and if you've ever worked with me in any capacity, whether it's with When Women Empower, my masterclass, one-on-one executive coaching, it doesn't matter. I give you homework. If you've been with me for Morning Tea with Dr. T, you get homework. So you can always expect that from me, okay? So I want to know who did their homework. And so yesterday I challenged you to use your introduction with someone, right? So who completed that challenge? And just type I did in the chat. Just type I did, right? And let me just see. Let me see. Let me switch screens. Hold on. Before I switch screens, I'm gonna give y'all a second, right? Just to see. Thank you, Krista. And I know over the past couple of days, Gabrielle had did her homework. Nadine did her homework. I think it was Andra who said she did her homework. I can't remember who else. Gabrielle, Nadine said, Gabrielle, I love you. Oh, I love the love. Nadine said, I did. She did her homework again. Congratulations. And so I want to celebrate those of you who actually did your homework. And, you know, what we talk about is where the real transformation lies. And that's when you do the work, right? And not just coming in and just consuming and hoarding information. So I celebrate all of you who did your homework. And now, for those of you who did your homework, I want to ask you, put it in the chat. What happened when you did your homework and you introduced yourself to someone? What happened? And answer that question in the chat. What happened? What did you notice? And what response did you receive? Put that in the chat. What happened? What did you notice? And what response did you receive? All right. So I'll give you some time to put that in the chat, and I'll remember to circle back and read through what it is that you wrote. Okay. And as they are entering that in the chat, I hope that you notice something. Right? And this is for everybody. Welcome, Ruby. Confidence doesn't come before action. The confidence came because they took the action. Let me say that to you again. Confidence didn't come before the action. The confidence came because they took action. All right? That's an important lesson. And one thing I hope stays with you long after today, and that is it. Okay? All right. So I want to go a little bit into the journey that you all have been on with me over the past couple days. Now, listen, y'all, I need y'all to put up some praying hands, cross your fingers, cross your toes and all that, because now I'm about to attempt to switch my slides. Okay. This is all brand new for me here, Andra. So listen, send me some positive energy. Go ahead and say a prayer. So, oh Lord, help Dr. T when she goes to switch these slides, nothing happens. Okay. So here we go. Right. Because I want to get into the journey. And again, TT, you're not able to see my slides, but if you want to go over to my YT channel, which is Mindset Shift with Tiff, you'll be able to see my slides. All right. Let's see. Woo, there it is. I can see it on my side. I did it, y'all. I switched over to my second slide, and we're going to be talking about the journey here. And I'm just amazed that I was able to do this. Yeah. All right. So what I want you to do is I want you to look at this progression of what has happened. Hold on, let me click one more thing and see what's going to happen, because I don't want to click on too much. Okay, I did it. It was something that was blocking my view from y'all. All right, so I want you to notice the progression, right? On day one, you see what we focused on. We focused on awareness. And what happened on day one is that you discovered that the beliefs you held about yourself were influencing your visibility. Okay. Now look what happened on day two. We moved into action. And so you learned practical strategies to communicate your value with greater confidence and clarity. But today is about identity. You see that? Today is about identity, because lasting transformation, it doesn't happen when you simply learn something new, Desi B. It happens when you become someone new, Krista. I want everyone to write this down. And now listen, by now you've been around me, you've heard me speak, you've heard me coach, you've heard me teach. You should know to come prepared with your pen, with your notepad or your iPad, right? But for today's session and for the past 2 days, you should have your notepad and your pen. All right. So I want everyone to write this down. Breakthrough is a moment. Becoming is a lifestyle. Breakthrough is a moment. Becoming is a lifestyle. Think about that. One powerful moment can inspire you, but your daily decisions determine who you become. And so I like everyone to answer this in your notebook. All right. And I want you to complete this sentence. Because of these last 2 days, I am becoming someone who, and don't rush. This isn't about what you've learned. It's about who you're becoming. Okay? So here's your sentence stem. Because of these last 2 days, I am becoming someone who, and I'm going to give you about 60 seconds to fill that sentence in. Keep writing, keep writing, keep writing. I'm gonna talk. So I'm reading comments here, and Dr. Shelley, she said, wait, I just seen it here, Dr. Shelley. They said, you got this. She said, yeah, it's hot in Philly. Yes, it is. And when I asked the question about the homework, Andrew said, I met with a local community partner. They were taken aback with my intro and laughed and said, oh, Leandra didn't come to play today. Come on, Leandra. Exactly. Listen, if y'all finish with y'all sentence, then go ahead and put some hand claps, put some celebration confetti in the chat for Andra. And that is what happens when you go from giving people information in your introduction to giving them transformation in your introduction. I celebrate you. And I hope that you were able to see that difference. Now, Andra, how did that feel for you to get that feedback? I love that. I love that that moment happened for you. I love that that moment happened for you. All right. And so for the rest of you, you should have been finishing that sentence then, but I told you I was going to go back. I wanted to go back and I wanted to celebrate someone who did their homework and they put their response in the chat. All right. So we're talking about breakthrough, right? That's just for a moment and how becoming is a lifestyle. Okay. And by now you should have finished your sentence stem. And if you want to, you can go ahead and you can put that sentence stem, you can put it in the comments. And remember, it was because of these last 2 days, I am becoming someone who. All right. All right. And so, and even if you don't put it in the chat, I want to celebrate you who actually did it. All right. And so let me go ahead and move on. So everything that we've done over the past 2 days has led us to this moment right here. Because here's what I've learned after coaching leaders, entrepreneurs, educators, ministry leaders, and aspiring speakers, Dr. Shelley. Here's what I've learned. Most people don't lose momentum because they aren't capable. They lose momentum because they don't have a plan to sustain it. And so the question becomes, here's the question. Y'all ready for this question? So the question becomes, why do so many people experience a breakthrough? Only to find themselves back in the same place a few weeks later. And I just want that to sit with you for a few minutes. I want that to sit with you. And if you have a response, go ahead and put it in the chat. I would love to hear what you're thinking. What came up for you when I asked that question? Go ahead and put it in the chat. What came up for you? And I want to go ahead and highlight you, and I want to read what has come up for you, right? And this is an essential next for us here, because this is exactly where we are about to go, all right? And so if you have not grabbed your notebooks already, if you don't have your pens already, go ahead and get it, okay? All right, and let me come to the chat over here on YT. What am I missing here? Okay, so Nadine, Okay, Nadine said she felt nervous when she did her introduction. And the response was, Wanda wanted to know more. I love that. I love that. Wanda wanted to know more. And so, again, you're letting them know this is the transformation that I bring, and they're going to be so intrigued. It will leave them wanting to know, okay, so what's next? I need to get more information. And exactly what Nadine said, I want to know more. And again, that's the difference between giving information during your introduction versus transformation. Can we put some hearts and confetti in the chat and celebrate Nadine? All right, so let's move on. The momentum cycle. That's what we're about to get into right now, right? And so let me ask you a question. Have you ever left a conference? Have you ever read an incredible book? You attended a powerful webinar, or you watched an inspiring video, right? And then you thought, this is it. My life is about to change. This right here has done it for me. But then a week later, you found yourself doing the exact same things you were doing before. Has that ever happened to anybody besides me? I know I'm not the only one, right? Type me in the chat. Don't leave me out here hanging, right? Now, listen, if it hasn't been you, it hasn't been you. But if it has been you, put me in the chat. Go ahead and put me, right? If you ever went to a seminar, a webinar, you read a book, you watched a video, and you were pumped up in a moment, you're like, yep, I'm going to do X, I'm going to do Y, I'm going to do Z, I'm going to get up early, I'm going to stretch, I'm going to move my body, I'm going to work on the website, I'm going to call the clients, I'm going to send out the emails, I'm going to complete the applications, I'm going to publish the book. And a few weeks later, you still scrolling on Netflix, scrolling on social media, still making excuses, still listening to the lies in your head, right? Now, you may not do this anymore, but have you ever? Has that ever been you? Right? Here's what I learned, Andra. I've learned that the problem isn't that people don't experience breakthroughs. The problem is that they don't know how to sustain them. And that's what I want to teach you today. All right. So we're going to go through the build the framework breakthrough. Okay. And so we all have and we all love breakthrough moments. Of course we do. They're exciting, they're emotional, they're memorable, right? But breakthroughs are only the beginning. It does not end there, does not stop there. That's not the final destination. A breakthrough, Nadine, it gives you a new perspective, and it doesn't automatically create a new life. The very next step is action, Desi B. Because inspiration without action eventually fades, Wanda. I want you all to write this down. Action is the bridge between inspiration and transformation. Write that down. Action is the bridge between information and transformation. And this is important, Krista, because this is where most people lose momentum. And it's not because they aren't talented, it's not because they aren't capable, but because consistency is difficult when you're trying to grow alone. I want you to think about something. How many times have you started something with excitement only to stop because life got so busy? Can I tell you something? Yana, You are not alone. We've all been there, all of us, right? And here's something that surprised me years ago, Gabrielle. I used to think that confidence came first. It doesn't. I used to think that confidence grows because you keep showing up. And that is true. That is exactly what happens. Confidence grows because you keep showing up. And every time you keep a promise to yourself, your confidence will increase. Write that in the chat. I will keep my promises to myself. So when your confidence grows, you begin to show up differently. You begin to speak differently. You introduce yourself differently. Right, Nadine? Right, Andrea? Right? And you apply for opportunities you wouldn't have talked about before. And you would have actually talked yourself up out of it. You begin to raise your hand. You begin to stop hiding. You all up in their face. Here I am. I'm not shrinking. I'm not moving. That's visibility. And what happens when you consistently show up? Somebody drop it in the chat. What do you think will happen when you consistently show up? Put it in the chat. Couple things happen. And some of you are right. You're on it. So people notice, opportunities will increase. Your relationships are going to expand, right? Your influence is going to grow. And it's not because you became someone overnight, but because you consistently became someone different. This is what I want you to understand. Most people are praying for opportunities when they should be building consistency. And this is important because opportunities are often attracted to people who consistently show up. Let me say this to you one more time. One more time. Opportunities are often attracted to people who consistently show up. So my question to you is, where are you today? Where are you in the cycle? Right? And so we just went through the momentum cycle, right? And now I want you to look at my screen here. And TT, I know you're not able to see it. What stage best describes where you are right now? Right? Put it in the chat. Are you experiencing a breakthrough? Are you taking action? Are you trying to become more consistent? Are you growing in your confidence? Are you stepping into greater visibility? Are you beginning to see new opportunities? Write it down. God bless you as well. Thank you. Write it down. And I want you to be honest. Let me come over to, we're going to go to YT. Let me go to YT real quick. Andrea said consistency. Andrea said, I love that you're using the PowerPoint. Thank you. See, I think about y'all all the time. I told you I was so excited about today. I said, we're going to do something different. This is like the grand finale, if you will, Andrea. Wanda said all of them. Andrew said, trust is built, doors open, you built confidence. Okay, I see your comments there. I see your comments. I see them. I see them. I see them. And what I appreciate about everything that you all shared is that you were honest, right? You were honest and you were transparent. And now that you've identified where you are, now you can identify your next course of action, right? Based off of the stage that you've identified that you're in. And so can we put some, and I always want to celebrate y'all, can we put some hearts? Can we put some celebration confettis in the chat for everybody who has let us know where they are in that cycle, right? Because for some people it's hard. It's hard to identify, right? It's hard to say, it's hard to be honest, let alone share it on a platform like this in front of so many other people. So I celebrate you, right? Can I encourage you to continue to do the work, right? All right. So let me ask you a question. What has been your biggest takeaway over the last 2 days? Your biggest takeaway over the last 2 days. What has it been? And I want to come and I want to hear from you. Your biggest takeaway over the last 2 days. Let me see. And you know what? I'm thinking, FB, I'm thinking about telling TT to hold on and coming over there to y'all. I'm really thinking about it. But see, what happens is if I touch too many screens and if I do too many things, stuff will start disappearing, right? I have to be honest with you because all this tech stuff, you know, that's not necessarily my lane. And I have people that do it and that's their responsibility. But I'm at a place where I said, you know what? Let me learn a new skill. Let me figure some things out. Okay. All right. So thank you again. I may still come back to you, FB. Just let me think about it. Just let me think about it. Let me think about it. All right. So if you can't, some of you cannot see my slides, but underneath this slide that I have, I want to read out what I wrote here for those of you who can't see it. Welcome, Nick. And it says, you don't have to master the entire journey. You just simply need to commit to your next step. And that's what I said a couple minutes ago, now that you've identified where you are in this cycle, right? Now you know which stage requires your attention the most. And if you haven't identified that, identify it. Because some of you said you're in all of these cycles. Now I want you to narrow it down to which stage requires your attention the most. Okay? All right. So now that we move through the momentum cycle, I want to slow down for a moment, right? I want to slow down for a moment because coaching, it isn't just about learning something new. It's about becoming more aware. And awareness is where growth begins, Nick. All right. So what I want you to do, I want you to look at these 6 stages here. Okay. And I don't want you to answer based on where you want to be. I want you to answer based on where you are today and answer it honestly. I want you to ask yourself, am I still celebrating the breakthrough, but avoiding action? Have I started taking action, but I'm still struggling to stay consistent? Am I becoming more confident, but still hesitating to be visible? Or am I finally stepping into opportunities I once thought were out of reach? There's no wrong answers, Wanda. This isn't a test, Nadine. Andrea, this is simply an opportunity for you to be more honest with yourself. This is for all of you. All right. So I want to do a reflection exercise with you. I want you to write one word in your notebook, just one. I know sometimes we have a tendency to write 3, 4, 5, 6. Just one. Write one word in your notebook. The stage that requires the most attention from you right now. Just one. And if you're comfortable, type that one word in the chat. And if you don't want to type it in the chat, that's fine. Keep it in your notes. Nadine is taking action. Andrew said, taking action and struggle to stay consistent. Andrew said, consistency for me is the next step I will master. I see you. I see you. I see you and I celebrate you. I love these responses. And what I want you all to notice is that not everyone is in the same place. And guess what? That's okay, right? Growth isn't about comparing your journey to someone else's. Growth is about identifying your next step, right? So growth is about identifying your next step, Gabrielle, your next step, Nick, your next step, Desi B, your next step, Takita, your next step, Brittany, your next step, Andrea. All right. And so if you wrote action that needs your most attention, here's your challenge. Your challenge is to stop waiting and start moving. If you wrote down that consistency needs your attention right now, your challenge is to keep the promises you make to yourself. You ever think about how you tell people, I promise you I'm going to be there on time. I promise you I won't be late. I promise you I'm not going to miss it. I promise you I'm going to show up for yourself. And you are so pressed to keep that promise to other people. Would you keep the same energy with yourself and make those same promises to yourself and be just as intentional about keeping them? Those promises to yourself that you make. All right. All right. So if you wrote confidence, remember confidence grows through action, not before it. If you wrote visibility, I'm just the messenger, but it's time to let people see the value that you've been carrying all along. And if you wrote opportunities, I want you to prepare yourself, right? Because opportunities are attracted to people who consistently show up. So if you ever wondering why they didn't pick you, if you're ever wondering why they didn't call you, if you ever wondering why, how come they didn't see me? It's because you're not showing up so that you can be seen, right? All right. So I want you to write this down. You don't have to master the entire journey today. You simply need to commit to your next step. I'm going to say that again. You don't have to master the entire journey today. You simply need to commit to your next step. All right? All right. And so now we've identified where we are. And the next question is even more important. Who do you need to become to continue growing from here? And this is an important question, Nadine, because transformation isn't just about what you do. It's about who you become. Put it in the chat. Who do you need to become? Go ahead and put it in the chat. and let us know, right? Because there's a difference. Who do you need to become? And I'm looking at your comments and I'm reading your comments. And I may not be able to get to everybody's name and everybody's comment here during this live executive coaching during the third day of the voice and visibility experience. But you write it down in your notes and you put it down in the chat if you feel comfortable, okay? Who do you need to become? All right. So I want to move along. And I want to talk to you about the becoming framework, right? And your future is created by the person you become. And I told y'all before that breakthrough is a moment, becoming is a lifestyle, right? And so let me ask you this question. Thank you, Nick. Over the last 3 days, have we simply been talking about public speaking? Over the last 3 days, have we simply been talking about public speaking? And you can put yes or no in the chat, right? Whatever you think. But I will tell you, the answer is no. We have not simply been talking about public speaking. We have simply been talking about visibility over these past 3 days, right? And more. So it's not just that, right? What we've really been talking about is not just, yes, we've talked about visibility, we've talked about confidence. But at the core of that, at the root of that, what we've been talking about is becoming. Because here's what I know, Gabrielle. Here's what I know. You can improve your presentation skills without improving your habits, right? And you can you can become more visible without becoming more disciplined. I need y'all to follow me, right? And you can even have more opportunities, Wanda, without becoming the leader those opportunities require. But let me tell you something about lasting impact and lasting transformation. It happens when you become someone different. I want everyone to write this down. Write this down. Success is not something you achieve. Success is someone you become. I'll say it one more time. Success is not something you achieve. Success is someone you become. So I want you to think back to who you were, right? Who you were before you joined this experience. Who were you? I want you to think about the conversations that you were having with yourself, right? The doubts, the hesitations, the fears, the excuses. Who were you? And when I say fear, specifically the fear of being seen, the fear of using your voice. And then I want you to think about who you are today. And maybe everything hasn't changed, but something has. And I'm going to tell you how I know this. It's because awareness changes you, action changes you, reflection changes you, growth changes you. I want to do an identity exercise with you, right? So I like for you to put your pen down for just a moment. I know some of you are over there, you're so studious and you're so attentive and you're taking your copious notes, and I love it. Right? But just for a moment, put the pen down. And if you're in a safe space and if you're able, I want you to close your eyes. If you're able, okay? And I want you to imagine it's 1 year from today. It's July 2nd, 2027. You stayed committed. You stayed consistent. You kept showing up. You stopped waiting for permission. You spoke with confidence. You communicated your value. You said yes to opportunities you once believed were out of your reach. And I want you to ask yourself this question. Who did I become to get here? Write this down. I want you to open your notebooks and complete this sentence. 1 year from today, I have become someone who, and you fill in the blank. I'm going to give you about 60 seconds to do that. Let me give you the sentence stem again in case you missed it. 1 year from today, I have become someone who. And once you write it down, I invite you to share it. Put it in the chat. Dr. Shelley said, consistent action. Andrea said, aware of my own actions, invested in the change. I like this right here, Andrea. Aware of my own actions. I celebrate you for saying that. I celebrate you for acknowledging that. And I celebrate you for putting that right here in the chat, right? It says something about your growth and your transformation when you can take ownership of your actions and not project the outcome of certain situations on other people. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Can we all put some celebration, confetti, put some hearts in the chat for Andrea? I love that. And keep it coming in the chat. And I invite you all to share. And I just want to affirm all of you who have completed this sentence stem, whether you put it in the chat or not. The fact that you are recognizing, right? That's a big deal, right? All right. So I want you to notice something, Dr. Shelley, Nadine, Wanda, Desi, Nick, Takeda, Brittany. I want you all to notice something, all of you. It's about, across these platforms, about 15, 16 of you here across these platforms. I want you to notice something. Not one person said, I became someone with more followers. Did y'all notice that? Not one person said, I became someone with a better title. Did you notice that? Right? Most of you, and if you haven't written it down, it may be in your notes, describe qualities, right? Awareness, right? Some of you said confident, bold. I saw consistent, disciplined, intentional, authentic, right? Why? This is important. Because deep down, you already know the truth. You already know it. Who you become determines what you attract. Put that in the comments. Who I become determines what I attract. And also put it in your notes. And so, Gabrielle, let me tell you a lesson that I've learned, right? So I've learned this lesson personally. There was a time when I believed that the next opportunity would change my life. But eventually, I realized the opportunity wasn't the first thing that needed to change. I was. And as I became more intentional, as I became more disciplined, as I became more consistent, the opportunities began to find me. And it's not, hear me clearly. It's not because I became perfect, but because I became prepared. I want everybody to write this down. Your future isn't waiting on another breakthrough. It's waiting on your commitment to becoming. I'm going to read that again. Your future isn't waiting on another breakthrough. It's waiting on your commitment to becoming. So what I want you to do, I want everybody to type one word in the chat. Now, just one. I know some of y'all like to type 3, 4, 5, 6. Just one. Just one, y'all. But I love how y'all so interactive. You want to participate. I love that. But just type one word in the chat. Who are you becoming? Right? And for some of you, it may be confident. Maybe it's visible. Maybe it's courageous. Maybe it's disciplined. Perhaps consistent. For some of you, it may be authentic. It may be intentional. It may be bold. What's your word? And it's so interesting. I love this word becoming. And I was on, for some of you, you know that I'm the president of Good Life Christian University. It's an online faith-based university. And we had our board members call on Tuesday. Hi, Herbal Queen, how are you? And one of the things that the chancellor, shout out to Dr. Kalai Shireen Cole Kennel, she was talking about becoming. And it's so interesting that that was one of the words that God has been revealing to her over these past weeks, because it's something that she said I had talked about. And what I shared when it related to the word becoming, right? And being visible. And so for some of you, y'all part of my morning tea with Dr. T community and family. Shout out to y'all. If y'all been on morning tea with Dr. T, drop your teacups in the chat. And so y'all know that this past Sunday was the milestone where I reached 100 episodes, 100 mornings of saying yes, 100 mornings of being visible, 100 mornings of going live consistently, right? And what I told them is that I realized that this was bigger than reaching 100 shows. For me, it was who God was preparing me to be in that process. It was more about who I was becoming over those past 100 days, right? And so I said, here it is. I'm thinking I'm building a platform, and God was building the person, me. And so what is your one word, right? And so, and I see you all putting your words. I see your words. I see your words. Keep putting your words. And I love every one of these words. I love every one of them, because none of them happen by accident. They happen through repeated choices, right? Repeated practice, repeated accountability, repeated coaching. And that's what we're going to talk about next, all right? And so now we know something, right? This is what we know. We know breakthroughs. Yes, they're going to inspire us. Thank you, Jesus, for the breakthroughs. Hallelujah, right? But let me tell you something about consistency. Consistency strengthens us. And further than that, identity conforms us, right? So I want you to sit with that. But there's still one question that I want to ask you as you're sitting with that. How do we continue becoming this person after today, right? Think about it, right? And you don't necessarily have to put your answer in the chat, but I really want you to take some time and just put what's coming to your mind. What's coming up for you in real time, right? Because it doesn't end here. There is more. right? Welcome in, Mark Queen, welcome. There is more, and I want you to identify it. And if you need some time to just kind of sit with it and ponder it, take that time that you need, okay? All right. So let's get into this. Why do so many people stop growing? And it's not that they need more information, they need consistency. All right. So I started to say I'm about to ask you one final coaching question, but I'm going to leave out the word final because I don't know what might come up. I might ask you another coaching question after this. Welcome, Shan. Welcome. And so, why do you think so many people stop growing after experiences like this? Think about it, right? People attend conferences, they read books, they listen to podcasts, they watch YouTube videos, they complete challenges. And for a few days, just for a few days, they feel unstoppable. They're on top of the world. Nothing can shake them, nothing can move them, right? They all pumped up and feeling good. They hyped up and ready to go, and they run like a lion in the mirror, right? Just for a few days. And then something happens, Desi B. Life happens. Responsibilities happen. Distractions happen. Old habits begin to return. So let me ask you another question. So was the problem that they didn't learn enough? No. The problem wasn't information. The problem, Nadine, was implementation. And so I always like to tell y'all what I've learned. So Dr. Shelley, I've learned something that changed the way I coach. Right? So people rarely fail because they don't know enough. They struggle because they don't consistently apply what they already know. And that's a very different problem. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about your own life. How many books have you read? How many trainings have you attended? How many notebooks do you have filled? How many inspiring messages have you listened to? And now I want you to ask yourself, was information really the thing I was missing? Ask yourself that question. Was information really the thing that I was missing? I had to answer that question myself. For years, I thought I needed another conference, another certification, another breakthrough, another notebook full of notes. Until one day, Nick, I realized I didn't need more information. I needed an environment that would help me implement what I already knew. And that realization, Takeda, Kim, it changed everything. So I want you to write this down. Information may inspire you. Implementation transforms you. I'll say it again. Information may inspire you. Implementation transforms you. So I want you to think about what we've done together, right? So day 1, we challenged your mindset. Day 2, we strengthened your communication. And then today, we've talked about consistency and identity, right? And so now I want you to imagine what could happen if you didn't stop here. And this is the question that changed my life. Not what else do I need to learn, but where do I need to be so I continue growing? And that question is exactly why I created what I'm about to share with you. I didn't create it because people needed another course. I created it because I realized people don't need to grow alone, right? So let me show you what I mean. So this is one of the biggest changes I recommend from what it is that you used to, right? An opportunity where you can grow with other people. An opportunity to where you get to step out of your comfort zone and be your authentic self, right? And I don't want you thinking, oh, I need another class. You need another place where you can keep implementing, right? And so I want to hear from you in the chat. What is it that you need to help you to continue becoming? I want to see it. What is it that you need to help you continue to becoming? And I'm going to read your comments as you get them up. Welcome, Shantae. Welcome in. I love that individuals are still coming in. And what that says is that although Dr. T has been up here, it is not too late, right? And that's one of the things I want you to remember in your everyday life. No matter your age, no matter where you are in your business, it is not too late, right? And let me just shout out Nadine real quick, because that's one of the things that I love about her. She will figure it out until she figures it out. She's going to call, she's going to text, she's going to research, she's going to learn, and she realizes it is not too late, which is another reason why the academy exists here, right? And so this is where confidence becomes consistency, all right? So inside the academy, this is everything that you're going to experience. And I want to just tell you briefly a little bit more about why the academy exists. And again, I did not want to create another coaching program, right? This is not because I wanted another offer. I created it because I kept seeing the same thing happen, right? Let me tell you what was happening. Desi B, Shantae, I would coach incredible people, leaders, entrepreneurs, professionals, aspiring speakers, right? And they would leave inspired, they would leave motivated, they would leave believing that they can do anything, right? And then let me tell you what happened a few weeks later, Nadine. Many of them found themselves right back where they started. And it's not because they lack potential. It's not because they lack talent. It's not because they lack purpose. What they lack is something much simpler. And that's an environment that will help them stay consistent. Thank you, Shantae. Right? So I want you to think about what we've accomplished together. So day 1, we challenged limiting beliefs. Day 2, we strengthened how we communicate our value. And then today, we talked about becoming the person who consistently shows up. Now, I want you to imagine what could happen if we continue that work together. Every single. And that's why I created the Shift Your Mindset and Speak Academy. And let me be clear, it's not another course. It's not a library of videos. It's a coaching community. It's a place where you can continue practicing, you can continue growing, you can continue implementing, you will continue to be challenged, and you will continue becoming. So when you join the academy, here's what you can expect, right? You can expect every Tuesday, we'll come together for a live coaching session, right? It's not going to be lectures, not information overload. This is not that. Will be real coaching, real conversations, real implementation. Okay? We're going to be strengthening your confidence. We'll improve your communication. We will increase your visibility. We'll develop your leadership. And perhaps most importantly, you'll be surrounded by people who are committed to growth just like you. And so I truly believe transformation doesn't happen because you know more, Andrea. Transformation happens because you consistently apply what you know. And that's exactly what this academy is designed to help you do. All right. So if you've been thinking, dang, I don't want this journey to end today. Well, guess what? It doesn't have to. I love to continue walking alongside with you. Right? And so the investment is $97 per month. And your membership includes weekly coaching, accountability, implementation, and community that's committed to helping you grow. And so let me just say this to you personally, right? I'm not looking for people who are searching for another course. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for people who are searching for another course. I'm looking for people who are ready to make a commitment to themselves. I'm looking for people who are ready to consistently invest in the person they're becoming. Okay. And if that's you, I'd love to welcome you. All right. All right. So before we officially close, I want to help you answer one final question. Right? And some of you might be asking, well, how do you know this academy is right for you? All right. So let's talk about that. Okay. Let's talk about that. All right. And so y'all know that we are live here and anything's liable to happen. And so shout out to my daughter who just stepped into the room. Shout out to London. She's here. So shout out to her. Yeah, listen, you got to love them, y'all. 16 years old. Y'all keep me in your prayers, okay? I know y'all been praying for me, but I need y'all to keep praying. Pray hard for me, y'all. Pray hard. Pray long and hard for me, y'all. All right, I appreciate y'all prayers. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. All right. And so I'm telling you, some of y'all know London. You've come to something that I've had and you've seen her in the flesh. And I promise you, what you hear or experience through these platforms here, she's like that in real life. It doesn't change. It doesn't change. All right, y'all. So let's talk about your next step, okay? Let's talk about your next step. So we are about to come to a close here, all right? And so while this may be our final day together, I hope that this is not the last time that you actually put in work. Somebody's cracking up. Shantae's cracking up. Shantae said it'd be your own kids. I'm telling you, it'd be your own kids. It'd be your own kids, right? And she don't care. She don't care. Listen, y'all, she just ordered something from DoorDash. Do you think she came and asked her mother if she was hungry? Dr. Shelley, you see how she do me? Right? And just yesterday, if you were here, I sat up here and made sure not only did my husband go out and get me something to eat, we got her something too. And do you think she asked us if we wanted one French fry? Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Right? All right. So again, your next step. So this is not another event, right? This is not another event. And I want you to remember, let this be the decision that changes your direction, okay? Let this be the decision that changes your direction. Excuse me. All right. So I want you to think about again what has happened here over the past 3 days. Okay. So we've laughed together, right? We've reflected together. We've challenged limits and beliefs. We strengthened your communication. We've talked about confidence. We've talked about visibility. We've talked about identity. And we've talked about becoming. But now you have a decision to make, right? And the decision lies in your corner. So you can leave today. You have a decision to leave today inspired. You can leave motivated. You can leave excited, just like those other leaders that I've worked with, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. That's beautiful. Or you can make a commitment to continue becoming the person you've been describing over the last 3 days. And you are the only one who can make that decision. All right. So if you've been thinking, I don't want to lose this momentum, I don't want to go back to where I was, I want to keep growing, you are that person that I want to personally invite. I want to personally invite you to join me inside the Shift Your Mindset and Speak Academy. And it's where we'll continue doing this work together. So every Tuesday, one conversation at a time, one breakthrough at a time, one decision at a time. All right. And I want you to remember something. You're not investing in a membership. This is not what you're doing. You're investing in the person you're becoming. And here's the thing. And that investment, it doesn't just affect you. It affects your family. It affects your business. It affects your career. It affects your ministry. Every room you walk into, every person you influence, every opportunity that's waiting for the person of you you're becoming. Every opportunity that's waiting for the version of you you're becoming. All right? All right. So the QR code is on your screen. The registration link is right next there. Just click, this is for me. All right. Take a picture if you need to. Read through it again if you need to. And if you know this is your next step, I'd love to welcome you. Okay. All right. And I want to say this. I want to leave you with the same words that we've been building for the last 3 days, right? So day one, it taught us that visibility begins with belief, right? And day two reminded us that people don't respond to the loudest voices. They respond to the clearest voice. And today, you've discovered something even more powerful. Breakthrough is a moment, but becoming is a lifestyle. Thank you, Shantae. And my prayer is that this wasn't simply a 3-day experience. My prayer is that this becomes the moment you decided to stop waiting for permission, stop questioning your value, stop hiding your voice, and start becoming the leader, the communicator, the difference maker that you were created to be. And so I thank you for trusting me over these last 3 days. It's been an honor to coach you. And I will officially conclude the Voice and Visibility experience here. All right. So I'm going to stay on for another 10 minutes or so. So if you have any questions about the Academy, I love to answer them. If you just want to say hello in the chat, if you want to celebrate your biggest takeaway, put it in the chat. If you want to share what this experience has meant for you, put it in the chat. I love to hear from you. All right. Thank you again. And I'll see you at the top, and I'll see you inside the academy. All right. You all take care. All right. So let me come over here. I'm reading your comments. Andrew said, excited to see what the academy is about. Andrew said, thank you so much. Andrew said, I'm in, ready for my next step. Welcome in, welcome. I want to personally welcome you, Andrea. Andrea, put in the chat and tell me, what was your main reason for jumping in? What was it for you? Nadine said, thank you, Dr. Tiffany. God bless. God bless you as well. Andrew said, what is the schedule for the academy? We meet on Tuesdays, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every Tuesday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for 1 hour. Great question. Wanda said, hi, London, welcome. She's a mess, y'all. She went right upstairs with that food. Didn't even stop and say, Mom, you want a sip of my drink? Nothing. She see me over here parched, sipping on my water that I just spilled because I'm so thirsty and I can't drink it fast enough. They said, hello, Queen London. All right. So I see your questions. FB, hold on, TT. I'll be right back. TT, don't hang up. Don't hang up. So when I say don't hang up, that means that I'm just clicking over to a different platform that I can't normally see while I'm here. But I want to try to answer as many questions as I can before I jump off. And if you have any lingering questions, anything after this, feel free to, I can't see here. Feel free to send an email to tiffany@tiffanyharris.net, and someone from my team, they will get back to you. All right. So, and listen, let me tell you about me. It's an intentional setup, right? So you've been here for the past 3 days, right? From 12 to 1. And sometimes I've gone over, because one thing you're going to learn about me as your coach is that I always like to over deliver. So while these sessions were only supposed to be 1 hour, you see it's 123, right? We went over. So the same commitment that you've made for the past 3 days will be the same commitment as far as the duration of the time for our weekly coaching sessions. Okay. I see you, Andrea. Andrea said, I need a space that will hold me accountable. And this is that space. This is that space. You will absolutely get that and much more inside the academy. All right. All right. So I appreciate you all. I celebrate you. Again, I look forward to seeing you at the top. For those of you who are going deeper with me, for those of you who are going to the next level, for those of you who are trusting me with your journey of becoming that person that you've described and that you've envisioned over the last 3 days, I'll welcome you, and I look forward to holding your hand during this journey and this process. All right. Have an amazing day, everyone.